because I didn't appreciate the way he treated her. And luckily they changed the nurse, and they have a great staff at the hospital that she was at. But this guy was the only one that created a problem.
And he went into the hospital and just refused to treat the child. And then you're forcing it to go somewhere else. And as you know, that window is short.
Welcome back to our show, reminding you to check us out on all platforms every day. Make sure you comment, check us out. Two Guys, I'm Just Saying, in your favorite platform. And when you're there, give us a like, give us a follow, and make sure you join the conversation. How we doing now?
All right, my friend Diamond Boy Lewis, how was your week? Was it good?
It was phenomenal. But today, I want to ask you, how have you been feeling with this whole freaking Sahara Desert stuff? I know you've been a little bit stuffy the last couple of days.
Yeah, you can hear it in my voice actually today. These fires that are out of control.
Yes.
You can hear it with the voice is a little hoarse, although that might have another career somewhere. So maybe I could take advantage of that somehow. But yeah, you can feel it. And for people who have problems, be careful when you're going outside. I know it's hitting, first of all, right now, the entire Northeast corridor.
Yes.
So has it affected you in any way?
You know what? It's affected Carmen a little bit more than myself, but it's starting to get to me a little bit. So she's been feeling it before I have. And but talking about new career areas that you could explore, reminding everybody to check out that new website. I'm loving it, my friend. Tell them about the Bandiero.com.
Oh, thank you very much. It's got everything on there. It's got the acting reels, got voiceovers that I've done a ton of. It has everything on there that you can see my career. One-stop shop back at you for his and her cigars. You got to check it out. That's the business that Lewis and his wife Carmen are in, and they're great at what they do. So there's the two shameless plugs to start the show. But you sent me this morning an interesting video that was perplexing at first when I saw this, but you found this, so you take it.
So it was very odd to me. Obviously, I've never encountered this, but we've all gone to the hospital. We've all dealt with some doctors. Sometimes we feel comfortable with them, and it's great. Sometimes we feel a little bit uncomfortable, and kind of we confront each other a little bit. So this father is confronting the doctor because he's saying the doctor just hit a wall to cure or to figure out what's going on with his daughter. And the dad is standing his ground, and the doctor just went and called the cops on this gentleman.
You know what? Let's play a little bit of this tape that you sent us.
I have to take my child to another hospital. He just said that he can call another one. I told him when he said it the first time that was okay. But he did not hear that because he was worried about my demeanor and what I was asking about when I talked about the testing and if it was something wrong with her and how long it's going to be. What's bad is that you're overriding your position, bro. Because if you're talking about a 2-year-old child, man, how would you be trying to keep him for 24 hours? You make no sense, bro. If I bring my child to a facility that cannot take care of her, there is no need for her to be in the facility. I'm taking my daughter to a hospital that can help her. I am irritated and frustrated as a father because I'm being held back from doing just that. But y'all want me to leave without my child. Why would you do that? I'm asking.
Wow.
Okay. I'm a little bit shocked. I got to tell you.
I got to tell you at first, I understand if he's being adamant about where you should go, but the bottom line that it seems to me is that it's not about the hospital. Is this doctor trusting the father? I'm feeling that kind of play in it. And I
Mm.
understand that there are many cases that the nurse or the doctor at the hospital thinks something is going on and maybe the authorities should be called in. I get that.
Yeah.
But this was not about that. This seemed something else. I don't really know exactly. Can't put my finger on it, but when you watch it, what I don't understand is that the father is arguing with the doctor. I would have just picked up my child and I would have been gone. So I'm not quite
Yeah.
understanding why they're going back and forth.
I mean, we've all done it, even with our pets. Like, there's sometimes we just have an instinct, like, listen, you know what? I don't trust this guy or this lady
Yeah.
doctor. I want to go over here with this vet or this clinic and do it that way. So, who do you blame in this case? You think the doctor is overstepping or like proving his power, or do you think the dad is cool, standing his ground and doing what's best for his child?
Well, I got to probably tell you, I would jump and say the parent is first, where this is my child. I don't like the care that's going on here. I'm going somewhere else. On the other hand, there will be some people that will say, well, maybe the doctor feels something's not right here with the parent. This, for me, it's only a short clip, but this for me is the parent has the right to say, I'm not comfortable. And you just said, we have all been in a situation where whatever the doctor is, a doctor, a dentist, and I have been down that road where the way the care that I'm getting, I just didn't like the way the bedside manner, and I don't mean to be in a bed or in a hospital. I just don't like the manner.
Correct.
There are some doctors that are fantastic at what they do. And then I have seen in my life one or two doctors that you're just a number. That's all you are. You walk in and you can feel it that you ask questions that they should have already told you and they're not telling you. So in this particular case, probably the only question I would have is, why is the parent going on and on?
I hear the concern in his voice. I'm a little shocked, and I don't know the protocols of the hospitals, but it's either protocol to call the police in, and because there's a child involved, to make sure that everything is cool, like you were saying. But you know, at the end of the day, it's the parents' decisions. We don't know. There's always other angles, right? I mean, doctors are not always agreeing with their religious angles or their culture or whatever it is that they grow up with. But I think we got to understand it. And if a parent is that determined that you're not the person for my child, I think you at some point you got to roll with it and be like, but listen, you know what? You're in charge. Just clear me out of everything, and then you go on your way. But I am very surprised. Doctor has a little bit of a arrogance to them.
There are some doctors that they do call it, they have the God complex, and you don't know what that doctor was thinking. But as I say, just from the tape, it looks like, wait a minute, you're making the call on my child. You know, that's up to me. And I got to tell you, based on that, long time ago, I saw that on a personal level, that there was someone in my family that went into the hospital with their parents, and the hospital actually refused them coming in, and all they had to do was clear an airway.
Wow.
The child wasn't breathing anymore, or having a lot of difficulty breathing, and all they had to do was, I think it's called a trach, just to let the air get in there. So they had to run out of the hospital, get to another hospital where all they had to do, as I said, is open that up. And unfortunately, a member of my family passed, and she was 6 years old.
Wow.
So now that gets into another thing. But the bottom line was, that's the other way that they went into the hospital and just refused to treat the child. And then you're forcing it to go somewhere else. And as you know, that window is short when you're not getting enough of oxygen. And any hospital was able to do that. So that went into lawsuits and everything else. But now you look at this, and what I'm thinking is, why are you sitting there engaging the doctor instead of just picking up your child and going? I don't know if you agree with that, but all this time, that you're sitting there going back and forth. What is that doing?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, and I would have done whatever. I mean, obviously they never show the child, so we can't see the extreme of it. But I would have called another hospital. I'd be like, or whatever, wherever. I'd be like, hey, listen, we need to do a pickup. I don't care, whatever it is. I'll pay whatever the fee is. But we're out of here, and we just, this is not working. And I would tell them what the case may be.
You know, we don't know, is it a life or death situation? Or we're past that, where I just don't feel comfortable here with my child. That's the bigger question for me is, why are you wasting time? And if you're in that position, what would you do? We'd love to hear from you. Or if that ever happened to any of our viewers or listeners, that would you just sit there and engage this doctor? Or would you say that I'd pick up my child, I'm out of there. I'm gone. There's another hospital on GPS somewhere, like within that fast, unless you're in the middle of nowhere. Now you're in a different situation. But if you are within traveling distance, that's probably my take. And then on the other hand, who was taking that video?
That's a great question.
There's another question. Was it somebody at the hospital, meaning worked for the hospital?
Yeah.
Or was it the mother of the child? Because there's a whole different dynamic altogether. If it was someone who works for the hospital, you know, they're videotaping that to cover their ass.
Correct.
Well, he wanted to leave and it was dire. Then you don't know if it's the mother and she's taking it saying they were trying to prevent us. That's an interesting thing of who took that video. And do you know, is there a longer video somewhere on social media that shows an outcome? I don't know. This is a video
that I haven't found, and I've actually been searching because I would love to see what would the outcome of that. But I got to tell you, on my end, when my mom was hospitalized and she was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, we had an incident with a male nurse. And she told him, "Hey, you know, I think you missed my." They put the drip in her, and she told us, like, "I think you missed the vein because it's really burning." And and the guy's like, "Oh, you're just complaining this and that. You've just been here way too long." And when I came in the morning, she had this big black and blue in her arm. I'm like, "What the hell happened?" And she's like, "Oh, the nurse guy from last night said I was complaining," and they came in and they fixed it. And I said, if he walks in here one more time, we're both out of here, and we're going to have a huge problem. Because I didn't appreciate the way he treated her. And luckily, they changed the nurse, and they have a great staff at the hospital that she was at. But this guy was the only one that created a problem, and we had a couple of meetings and stuff. But if you don't take action,
when my parents were also going through that, you know, the bottom line is that the people that dedicate their life in hospitals, you can't say enough of positive things about them.
Yes.
But with every industry, everywhere, there's always a bad apple somewhere. Always. It would not be perfect. Versus videos that you see that people who work at hospitals, some people go above and beyond the line, and think about doing that every day and then going home and trying to live a normal life. And then there are those people that you just described that they do what they think they need to do, and that's it. And the terrible thing about that is it casts this dark shadow on the people that really give 100% every day. So kudos to the people who work at these hospitals around the country, around the world, who do good things. But yeah, when my parents were in the hospital, there's always one great one that for some reason they connect. But as I said, there's always one that you got to walk up to and have a little bit of a conversation with.
Correct.
And sometimes if it's the doctor, you need to have a conversation with that doctor whatever the care is. But that's an interesting question to go back to. That is, who took that video? That's a really interesting video, because you can see that both of them don't know they're being recorded. That especially the father, because his back is towards the camera. So
correct.
That's my number one question of, was it the hospital or was it his wife who took that Who
I'm
took
going to
that
guess it
hit?
was more the hospital to probably cover themselves. Because they are covering, first of all, great angle, and second of all, they're covering the complete conversation when the gentleman's just trying to pack everything in and get his child to another hospital.
Once I tell you I don't like the treatment that you're giving me or my child, we don't need to go on anymore. I'm gone. I'm done. And the other question is, why is the doctor adamant about you going
Yeah.
to a specific hospital if you don't want to go there?
Yeah, I love to hear from you guys. So make sure you write it in the comments, engage in the conversation. Let us know what you think. And if you've gone through it, like Al said before, let us know what was your situation and what was the outcome of it and how you handled it. And it's still, at the end of the day, still a sad situation to see there's a child involved. And, and our prayers are for that child. Hopefully everything turned out great and not just that we got a viral video out of it.
Yeah, again, let us know if you've ever been through. And for those who watch us that are in the medical industry, that do great jobs, we want you to know that we do appreciate it very much because, hey, you never know. Your life is in somebody's hands. So we appreciate the hard work that you have to do every day with people's lives in your hand. But on the other hand, there's some bad apples that are in every industry. But for those of you who really do good work, kudos to you. Thank you for that. But we also want to know about instances that have happened. And let's hope for myself, you, and everybody watching that we never have to go through that.